Everyone says that journaling is supposed to be good for your mental health, but no one is actually saying what you're supposed to be doing. So for those who need a bit of clarity, this journaling technique for improved mood and increased emotional awareness is a combination of dream journaling, the way that I do it, the brain drain activity, and mood tracking. As always, I do have a few steps for you, and they are a bit detailed, so you may want to go ahead and grab your journal now so that you can take notes. Let's jump on into the technique. Your step one is actually going to be to carve a set time and space each day where you are going to be journaling. The main reason is because most of the time people don't commit to their self-care practices for a variety of reasons. They give themselves a lot of excuses, whether it's other responsibilities or they couldn't find the time. So go ahead and just make the time now and promise yourself to commit to this time and to not double book it. So anything else that comes after this, if it comes during this time, you're not available. I would advise that you be very specific, such as 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. for 15 to 20 minutes. For this technique, you are also going to need to set aside a bit more time on Sundays. So if you have a self-care routine that you engage in on Sundays, this will be perfect to add on into that. On Sundays, you're going to have a review day, but we're going to talk about that a bit later on. Step 2. Let's go ahead and talk about the way that you're going to head or title each page. So this comes from dream journaling, the way that I typically teach and advise people to do dream journaling so they can track what tools and techniques work for them and which ones don't. But for this purpose, what you're going to do is give each entry a date and a title. The title can be anything that you want, but it's going to help make this a bit more personal. So go ahead and date and title each entry. You also want to rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 for the following categories: depression, anxiety, and stress. This may seem a little mundane, but when you're going back to look for patterns over days or over weeks, you're going to find that this is going to make it a lot easier for you. So you can just write like anxiety and a number, depression and a number, stress and a number. You also want to leave a little space for notes. So typically in dream journaling, this note section is going to be for things that you did right before bed that would influence your dreams. But in this case, you could use this to track just, bullet points, not long sentences, but perhaps any medications that you have taken, anything that you have done that significantly would cause something to go on in your life, or if there's some major event going on. Sometimes you're dealing with, grief or trauma. So you may just want to write brief little notes there so you know just at a glance what was going on in your life at that day. This could also include any notes regarding any goals that you are currently working on or any steps in any goals that you are working on. So you can once again briefly take a look at that and you can know, okay, this is what I was working on at that day. This was what was going on in my life at that time. Your step 3, after you've created the header or the title section of your entry, then you're going to go ahead and enter into the brain drain activity. And typically this takes between 20 and 30 minutes. So you could shorten this section if you'd like, make it work for you. But what you're going to be doing is you're going to either select a time frame or a page limit. So perhaps if you're doing the time frame and you said you wanted this entire process to take you 20 minutes, maybe your time frame is going to be 17 minutes. Maybe you gave yourself 3 minutes just to sit down and title and do your heading and your notes, and you're going to set a timer for 17 minutes. You could also, though, give yourself a page number like 2 pages or 3 pages. But what you're basically going to do is you're going to write non-stop. You really don't want to lift your hand or lift your pen or your pencil off the paper, because what this does is it signals to the mind, I'm finished. And there's a part of the mind called the inner critic. Some people may also know it as the superego. This part of your mind, when you lift your pen up off the paper, will typically fill in that empty space with judgment. So it will begin to criticize what it is that you just wrote or what it is that you're thinking, and it will create all kinds of stories and narratives, and it can cause some issues. So what you want to do is just continue writing. If you get to a point where you feel like you don't know what to write, just write that down. I don't know what I'm writing. I feel really stupid for doing this right now. Hopefully something comes to my mind. I feel like this is just a waste of time. It's okay. Just keep writing. Eventually what needs to come up will come up, and once it does begin to come up, go with it. Don't try to inhibit yourself or stop yourself. Just let it go until it runs out and your mind goes to the next topic, and continue writing until you reach your time limit or you reach your page limit. Okay, so say you've done this journaling exercise Monday through Saturday. Or you really don't even have to. I would suggest you do it every day, but if you don't feel like you can commit to every day, pick a schedule that works well for you, once again. But you've done your, we'll say, Monday through Saturday of journaling, and then you set aside your time on Sunday. So Sunday, what you're going to be doing is going back to review all of your journal entries from the week. So that's why you did that note section, because that's going to make it really easy, once again, for you to take a glance at the major events and things that could have contributed to you feeling some kind of way. You're going to be able to look at that at a glance without having to read through everything. But you do want to read through everything, especially those significant days. So I would either take a pen or a highlighter also to go back and highlight pertinent events or details or things that you didn't pick up on that you were writing, because that's going to be important. So what you're really looking for is to track patterns in, whatever. It could be maybe you use the notes section to also track your food intake. So maybe you notice that you ate something that contributed to you feeling some kind of way, or maybe you're taking some type of herb or supplement or medication and you're noticing that it's causing these types of side effects. But I do have some other things that you can look for. So the first thing is going to be looking for trends, patterns, and significant events that play a role in your mood. The next thing is identify current experiences that are creating stress. So look at your stressful events from the week. The third thing is identify practices and activities that are helping you to cope in healthy ways, because you want to notice those as well. You don't want to just put the focus on everything that's negative. Also look at what you're doing that's helping you to, increase the stability of your mood or to move further along in your goals, and you want to do more of that. How can you do more of these for the next week and do a little bit less of what was stressing you out from the previous week? So clearly, mood improvement comes from actively taking steps to resolve your stressors and issues. So this is what you're doing on Sunday. You're reviewing your week, and then you want to set small, meaningful goals, things that you can do throughout the next week in order to help you improve your mood. If you need a little bit more clarity in this area, be sure to check out last week's video on how to create an effective self-care routine. That's going to take you through all of the steps in detail, just like in this video, and you're going to walk away with a plan that perfectly fits you and your lifestyle and what you need at the moment. If you have enjoyed the content in this video and you would like to dive in a bit deeper as well as support my work and what I do, consider joining Sacred Sunday Space. Sacred Sunday Space is a private self-care workshop that I host twice a month through Zoom. There are no cameras. It's come as you are. You're very comfortable. And I create a structured self-care routine about an hour and 15 minutes, where we do activities like journaling, just like this, but we also do guided meditation or shamatha meditation. Sometimes we do yoga nidra. There's a bit of yin yoga or maybe EFT. You can take a look at the description box and it will have all of the information that you need. Just go ahead and click on my Patreon and read all about it. It's right now it's $15.15, so it's very low cost and you get access for the entire month. If you have any questions, be sure to leave those in the comment section below. And if you have enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos.